What's up, All-Inners, and welcome to another episode of the All-In Podcast, a podcast for casual leaguers. I'm the League Dad, and I'm joined, as always, by my wonderful co-hosts. We got Mitchell, we got Kevin, and we got Alistair. Thank you guys for being here, as always. How you guys been? How would you guys think of the games? I mean, we had some pretty interesting results. I mean, but that's usually the case, right, in NA. So give me your first thoughts. Go. What'd you think?
Excellent. Cloud9 versus Team Liquid. Haha. That's pretty much the whole weekend for me.
Third week in a row.
Never doubted them.
Third week in a row. Cloud9 is 1-1. I mean, I think that's gotta say something. I know, Kevin. Yeah, you must be happy. How do you feel, man? Are you like literally jumping for joy like right now?
I was extremely happy during that game. I was like, oh god, that Blitzcrank pick, I think it's gonna win. But then they were like bleeding out. I was like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the gold on the LoL esports site, and it was like 7.7k Sona, 7.3k Lux, and then Ezreal has like 12 or 13k. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Is this bad?
Sona Lux.
Although I hear it's used everywhere, so I think it's still good. I think they just got Core JJ'd all over.
I don't think it's good at all.
Please, Riot, just stop these builds being viable. Oh god.
I don't think it's viable at all. Not even
well,
close.
I mean, okay,
it's
but
so
I
miserable
mean,
to play.
Do you
against
not
Fallen,
agree,
dude.
though, guys, that they did, at least through early mid game, have some kind of presence? They were saying it wasn't meant to carry on late, and that's pretty much what Team Liquid did, is they kind of drew it out, and you could see obviously where C9 just couldn't do anything anymore. I will say again, why did they have to experiment on this game? Like, is it like kind of like a pass for them where they could say, well, we lost because, we were trying Lux Sona on the bottom lane, even if it is used in other regions? Like, to me, I'm just like, come on, like, are they trying to mask their true strength? Because if they win, they could say, look, we won with, our first time playing this in competitive. And if they lose, they can, again, default to, well, look at our comp. So, I mean, what do you guys think?
What's the point of experimenting if you're just beating down on lower teams? So they talked about it in the EU version of the dive, the EU Euphoria.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how, like, if you're going to experiment, for it to be successful, you need to play it against a good team. Because if they played that against a crappy Dignitas or some CLG or something, it doesn't matter. You're going to win that. You can play, like...
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right? So you need to experiment against a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the difference between first and second in playoffs doesn't matter at all. So experiment a good team. If it works, it works. Doesn't work, well, back to the drawing board a little bit. But I'm fully bought on in the regular season. You're in first or second place.
Sure.
Experiment against the best teams. See if it works out.
Yeah.
I agree, but why wouldn't you practice it against them in scrims rather than the games that matter?
I mean, you don't know what they did in scrims.
And
so.
plus, scrims are also kind of a place where people seem to not really try.
That's true.
It is, I think, hard to measure something in scrims, just because you don't want to give away your full strength at some point.
Yeah, actually, Broxton gave an interview where there was a couple weeks ago, they went 3-17 in scrims, and then that weekend they went 2-0. So, do scrims really matter? Like,
that is
to him, it doesn't. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, on that note, C9 gave an interview saying we don't troll our drafts. We literally pick what we think will win that week, and that's how we don't hide strats or like try to like do whatever. That's what Licorice said in his interview a couple weeks ago. He was like, because they were asking about the Wukong games, so I was like, I mean, so I know that Tactical and Core have been spamming Sona Lux a lot and solo queue together, so it's like, I don't know what it does. I don't get the point of it because of the whole dynamic with the double support items and how they don't really generate gold that much anymore like they used to.
It's kind of, unless they changed it, I don't think they do. With support items, you can get 2 CS every wave, and it won't tax you. So the thought process is, if you both go the support item, you both get the passive, and you both get 4 of the combined get
creeps,
4 of the 6 creeps. So it's kind of like a new fasting Senna, I guess.
I see. Okay, I understand.
I'm pretty sure that's the thought process behind it.
On cast, they said that you can get 3 CS a minute. So that's a little less than 2 CS a wave, I think. I don't know.
Well, if you're not pushing which you aren't. With that, you get ganked, you die. So you let it push into you, and it's about to a CSO wave.
And they did definitely finish their double shards of True Frost or whatever. So that's a
Mhm.
bunch of words. They can shield up for Blabber, which made him basically invincible in fights, and they took defensive summon. Like it was working. Like let's not mince words. They were up like
That's what I'm
4.3k.
saying. Yeah,
If Core didn't get the blitz pick here and play
exactly.
it like a
Oh
god,
yeah.
like all those fights where I'm like watching Snitsky go and I'm like, they picked 3 shield characters and then R3 he locked in Blitzcrank. I said like, as far as I remember, that just means they all don't have shields, right?
Yeah.
And then I watched Niski lose like a 1,000 shield in one block. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
Blitzcrank ult was clutch. Yeah.
that's
I'm
the
so
thing.
glad
Like
they added that.
they did really well. Like I mean, early on. So I mean, to me at least, I'm always happy when I see, something spicy, something new, shake things up, right? Even if it's been played in other regions, like I want to see NA try it, right? Because if we're just gonna stick to the same old things, we're never gonna get better. And so I'm happy that we have a C9 who is willing to try new things. And actually, again, they lost, but I felt like in the beginning of the game they executed fairly well. I mean, Niski on a melee champ against Syndra was, he was
Solid.
winning. Yeah, he was winning fine. And, even Licorice was doing well in lane, Blabber doing fine. And early on, they did get a couple of those kills. Like you said, they were up, 4K gold or so. So it's nice to see them trying and having a little bit of success on it. Obviously, I think you nailed it, Kevin. Core JJ was just the savior of that game. At a certain point, you were like, okay, I don't think C9's going to have a chance here if Core keeps playing like this. And honestly, tactical, clutch as always, man. He is just, he farmed up, got his gold lead, and then just began to demolish people. Went to town. And this is the bot lane that TL has now. And I like it. I mean, I'm really excited to see NA talent in tactical doing well. I know you guys mentioned and have mentioned your kind of disappointment in Broxa, and we've also been saying Impact has been looking pretty much like hot garbage. But I want to get your take here. If Team Liquid reacts like a typical League of Legends team where they replace somebody here, who do you think deserves to get replaced? Not saying it's going to happen, but just from performances wise, like, would you say Impact or Broxa is more of in the hot seat?
Yeah, I would definitely say Broxa over Impact. Impact is definitely playing very poorly during this regular season.
Yeah, I mean, for
especially
sure,
in that FlyQuest game.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
big oof. But I don't know. I always feel like Impact brings it in playoffs. Like, what other top laner in North America can you say can like actually go toe to toe with the Shy at MSI? That was pretty nuts,
That's true.
And then Broxa, I don't know. It doesn't feel like he fits with this team,
Okay, but to his credit, okay, I just want to, and you guys obviously can throw your opinions in here too, and I get it. Like Impact has had really good international performances. He's also had very good, when it comes to
on Team Liquid too.
Yeah, on Team Liquid and postseason performances. We're not going to deny the impact that Impact has. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself, but
That
I mean,
jokes, we know.
how long can we let this go on? Like, I mean, can you just bank on that he is going to again show up in playoffs? I guess we'll have to see, but at this point, I'm kind of losing confidence. And as far as Broxa goes, yeah, he might not be standing out like, Xmithy or other star junglers, but I mean, he was 0-1-14. He doesn't do anything crazy. He's not doing anything spectacular, but he's also, I feel like, he's kind of
it was
like
100% KP that game. That's
he's not
pretty good.
He's not the Brox that everyone's used to. Like from
That's
Europe.
true.
He's not.
That's true.
Which I feel like is why people are giving him a lot of the flame because in Europe he was a carry jungler,
Sure.
and now because he's got he has 3 lanes that can carry, then he doesn't really need to play that play style, which he's it feels like he's learning more of a supportive play style, kind of play like Xmithy.
Yeah.
I mean, as Whipple said, if you're bad on Fnatic, you're just bad because it's easy to show up on the at least old versions of Fnatic. Recent's kind of been garbage. I think he played fine this particular game they won. Like he was consistently there and but he still had bad micro moves. Like early game under tower, he missed up a pillar, which would have put Blabber under tower, got a kill at level 4, and would have traded 1 for 1. But he just didn't put the pillar in the right spot. So Blabber just walked away as a horse with no flash. I'm like, okay, cool. And one thing they said to his credit, but it's also a double-edged sword, is that he's very good at like after a scrim, people are very happy to just walk over and like, hey, you messed up on this, or we need to work on this. What do we need to improve on? Or like after a play, and he's very like a hard worker,
Yeah.
which is something that we all know Xmithy didn't do. He didn't need to, sure, but like you could argue that there's a lot of room for him to gel into this team and eventually become very good. The problem is you could also argue since he already has this good mindset and he's not showing up now, when is this going to happen?
Yeah.
Like Xmithy, you could argue the headroom is there. Like he could, if he really tried, if he really sat down and tried to work hard, maybe he could pop off a little more. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
he just doesn't fit right now. Maybe Liquid doesn't need a player that plays his style because the resources aren't available for him to play that style.
Yeah, because even when he plays like his signature Lee Sin or something like that, you haven't really seen him.
Doesn't pop off in the early game at all on Lee Sin.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had that 1-0 KP in 30 minutes game. That just gave me so much pain as a jungler. Like, why?
Why? Yeah, no, for sure. And as far as impact goes, maybe they just give him Shen the rest of the split, and
maybe they just sub him out during the regular split. Like,
yeah,
I've seen more Shen. Actually, no, the buffs come out would be this week, this coming week, right?
So
but I mean,
probably see a big man more.
But Licorice had not Licorice, I'm sorry. Impact had a great Shen game earlier. I mean, he actually was the carry of that game, which probably his best game. I'm pretty sure it was his best game of the split. And I'm just like, that's the year. They might as well just give it to him if they can.
It just didn't happen for Liquid as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Can't wait to watch.
Do over. But hey, look, we can criticize all we want, but they went from being doo-doo last split, having the visa issues, having the double lift issues, the team synergy, whatever, going from that to now being tied for first. That's pretty amazing. And so, yeah, we could crap on Broxah, we can crap on Impact, but the truth is, Annie might just be so bad that Team Liquid still ends up in first.
Whoa.
Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin. All right, Kevin's mad because I'm not giving.
This whole time you're like Liquid shit. C9's the best team like in NA history, like whatever, and then Liquid beats C9. It's like Liquid shit, NA shit.
Okay, all right, Kevin. I was wondering if Kevin was gonna say anything.
How many supports do you see pop off like poor JJ does in NA?
You're right.
I'll just say something. I watched the Jensen interview he gave after the Cloud9 game, and he was basically saying what the league dad just said. He was like, "We didn't deserve that win against Cloud9. It felt like who
deserves to win a 4.5k gold deficit at 22 minutes against that comp?
The number one team.
And Jensen said himself that the Sona Lux bot lane was completely useless, and if they had just a normal 80 carry and support, Cloud9 wins that 10 out of 10.
I don't know why they didn't go with Elios Lulu.
He said that himself. Jensen said that we shouldn't have won if they just had a normal bot lane. They won because honestly, I just totally agree. If they had it,
but that's what I'm saying. Again, they go back to this comp. Yeah. I mentioned in the beginning, but Mitchell, you had a good point. I'm not gonna say that wasn't a good point, but yes, they can experiment against good teams to see if it's good. But I think for them, is it absolutely necessary for them to win? Like if they really need to win, like if they're vying for, first place and they want to hold on that first place spot, then I think at this point, yeah, they should have won a normal composition because I think, as Jensen would say too, like I think they might have won. But if they are okay with taking a 50-50 or maybe they think their odds are 60-40, high percentage, then maybe they do, that's why they pick this, and it's not that important for them to win this exact game, even though we all feel like it's a marquee matchup.
Here's something I'd like to throw at you.
Go ahead.
So we had this conversation last time where we don't think the first seed is going to likely make it out of groups. And I'm wondering do you think maybe Cloud9's trying to tank themselves a little bit?
No,
absolutely
0%. They want to win the split.
They want to win. I don't think so either. That would be some next level 500
that would be.
I don't think they're doing that though.
It's just like Cloud9 doesn't have enough headroom to guarantee a second because there's some crazy shit that happens in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't happen to Cloud9, but who knows? So as far as I'm concerned, I think C9 just wants to make Worlds because they missed MSI. There's no way they don't want to be the first seed going into MSI, regardless of if it's
they do.
They're cocky. Like the reason they did this draft is because they thought they're better than they are.
I like it. I like that attitude.
I don't.
man.
I
I don't
mean-
like watching that. It's so.
They
It's
thought they
not
could
fun.
smurf on Sona Luck's bot, and they could not.
Against Team Luke, against a team that was tied, literally, well, not tied because Team Liquid lost their first game. Kevin, can you explain yourself? I'm speaking as if Kevin speaks for all of Team
Hey,
Liquid.
FlyQuest.
Kevin, can you?
I mean, they obviously played worse, and FlyQuest played really well. What can I say?
FlyQuest went 2-0.
They did.
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
They had
honestly.
a really good game from FlyQuest, but again, FlyQuest is still going to be
Solo,
garbage
baby.
half the time. So
Yeah.
once again, I'm very unexcited by FlyQuest. They do have Wild Turtle, and they're like 3-1 or
Phantom
4-0
Dancer.
now.
Yeah.
They're
Phantom
3-1.
Dancer.
They only lost. They only
That
lost
that
to,
fan dancer made no sense. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, bro, come on now.
I saw the text in Discord, and all I saw was Phantom Dancer, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a doozy." I was like, "This is gonna be a doozy."
Phantom
Yeah,
Dancer,
I mean-
Figure, and then you finished the Maw, and I was like, come on,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
It's stats. Hahaha.
People
Even though-
still do that too in solo queue. It's.
Get
I mean, 'cause
QSS,
people-
man.
People don't know how to read. That's
Get
why.
this
I know
dance.
it's great.
Oh my
It's
God, I hate
hilarious.
this dance.
But anyways, to close out, I mean, like, Liquid should have lost that game. Like, we live in a 90-10 reality where usually C9 just wins that game. We're like, okay, that was that was an interesting draft. Like,
Mhm.
it just wins early because of the giant shields on Hecarim who runs down the bot lane. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And Liquid just had one better player pop off. Also, a thing they didn't know is the Mordekaiser pick, while it wasn't great in the game, literally forced Hecarim to lose 4 kills worth of gold for
Mhm.
QSS early because he
Yeah.
fucking bought QSS, and I was like,
QSS, you bought Null Magic Mantle first back. It was insane.
well, yeah, because he was forcing QSS so
Yeah.
he could smack the Mordekaiser lane, which he did.
I mean,
um,
but he still, I don't
He
think it's
did
worth
because you can't push the button. Like, so that
Can't
means
push the button. Yeah, you
You
can't
still
push the
1v1
R.
the Morden win though, so it's
Well,
Yeah, I
if he
mean-
was good enough, would he use it? He uses his ultimate to buffer.
Well,
Like,
you
does it
won't-
work like that? Can you buffer Mordekaiser ult?
no,
I know
not
you
sure.
can spell shield it. I actually no, I don't.
You
think
have
you
so
can.
much time to react to it that it doesn't really matter. Like, really, because like
'Cause I
he
know you're
ults you
unstoppable.
in there the whole time.
No, unstoppable doesn't work. It's only untargetable or only
I know
Ornn
you
W
can spell
works.
shield it.
You can spell shield it and Ornn W works, but you can't do unstoppable. So
Okay.
Well, the
Malphite-
Ornn W is unstoppable though. That's what
Ornn
it
W
is.
is special. It's something different.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I guess maybe it's because he keeps moving.
They were talking about it on cast also.
Yeah.
about
Got
this.
Ornn privilege. But anyways, at the end of the
Fair
day,
enough.
like C9 should have won this game. We would have lauded them as like really good at making dumb shit work, and we would just go
It's
on
not a
with
good
it.
comp.
So
It's not a good
I
comp.
don't know if it's not a good comp yet. I don't get
expected-
why it's been spammed in solo queue so much by literally the people
Solo
they played
queue,
it
yeah.
against.
but I mean,
Well,
so here's
why
the
would you
thing.
be wasting your practice time spamming
Practice,
something that
yeah.
doesn't?
It's not the
that
Sona
they're not
Lux.
gonna
It's
use?
how the Sona Lux works with the rest of the team. There's no hyper carry on
What do you
C9.
mean? It literally was the Hecarim. The Hecarim had a Triforce at like 18
No, but
minutes, was running it down and
It's not a
Well, he
hyper
did
1v3.
null
carry.
off.
It's a one shot. You can one shot the
Yeah,
ADC or
The
mage.
whole point
but
was
you
to
can't
win
one them
early. You
off.
get all the dragons,
Yeah.
you get the Baron, and you win. Like, you just snowball over with the Hecarim. Because it's not a hyper carry in the traditional sense. But when you have like a Triforce and like a 3,000 goal lead over your enemy jungler at 20 minutes, you're going to win the game.
And that's what
Like-
they
That's not
said.
true though.
But
because
that's
he
what they
fell
said,
off
though.
against Mordekaiser Trundle.
Yeah,
Mordekaiser
yeah, but
Trundle
see,
doesn't
but
get
that's
one
what they
shot.
said though in the cast. Even is that there was a point in the game where they were like, okay, see, at this point, like, it should have been C9 over already, but a couple of those picks is what slowed them down and was able to stop it, because Blabber has the ability to carry, quote unquote, right? And like you said, like early on, having that Triforce, and I can't remember the gold lead that he had particularly, but you know, being able to ult him with Shen, being able to shield him with, you know, Lux, Sona, you know, all
you
of
can
that.
also speed him up.
You can
and
speed him
can
up.
Also just isolate anyone who
I'm
can
gonna-
kill him. You just
I'm gonna look
ISO.
up a tweet.
and
I think Medios was talking about the team comp on Twitter. But
Yeah.
He was like explaining why the comp was bad and how
Yeah, the guy who makes greatest decisions in the world is explaining why
hey,
it's
he's
bad.
smarter than the three of you guys.
Yeah,
I don't know
right.
if he is.
I
I sure
doubt
as fuck
it.
won't blame my employer while I work for him.
That's true.
And then
I
wonder
have-
why I'm out
Mitchell,
on
Mitchell, I
his
have
team.
you
know,
know, I watch
guys.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Means
Okay,
I have
I
high
don't know
IQ.
why
You need a high
trying to
IQ
argue
to
the
understand the
comp is
jokes.
good. It's not good.
The
Like,
comp is
it-
good if the
It's
Blitzcrank's
not
out there.
good. It's okay.
I don't like it.
I would
Work.
like to see it again.
I don't personally like it, but the
I
comp
don't.
would have won the game if there wasn't a
No,
Blitzcrank.
I disagree because the reason they got the 4K gold lead at the beginning was only the top three. The bottom lane didn't do anything. Literally, it was only
The
top
bot
side
lane
that got
didn't do anything
the
except
3K
take 4
gold lead.
kills. Bot, were you watching the same game? All
The
the
bot lane
kills
didn't do
that were
anything.
They got so many double kills onto Blabber because
They
bot lane
did.
literally absorbed a gank. 4 people showed up, absorbed 2 kills onto the fucking horse, and then did it again.
And it's okay that I mean, I'm not saying they should die early on,
They
but
shouldn't die.
it's
They shouldn't.
okay. It's okay that they died in a sense that Blabber was able to get a couple of those pickup kills. They stayed alive long enough, but I mean, they're essentially playing the supportive role. So I'm not saying that it's good for them to die, but it's not the worst. Yeah, they're not the It's not the worst thing in the world if they died, which they did. But I'm not saying it's good either.
Because what we're trying to figure out is whether it's better than just an ADC and a regular support, right? It wasn't,
I think.
Because
well, yes, I know. I think what I'm trying to say is that I think that it's not, in a sense, if you get a game long enough, to the sense that the ADC is always going to be doing a crap ton of damage once he gets to a certain point, but C9 was not able to stop that point, like stop the game up to that point. I think the comp could have worked had not Core JJ stepped in there and interrupted their plans. But we got one game. We only have one game to look at it. So
it's a bad comp because you let a guy with an AoE shield breaker go against 4 shields. So like, for me.
And yes, I do agree with that, and I understand that. But like, what I'm trying to say is that the bot lane didn't do anything. And you're saying like, yeah, the Blabber did get kills in the bot lane. That wasn't because the Sona Lux. Actually, at 12 minutes, they had a 3K gold lead only from the top lane fights.
But do you think, hey Mitchell, but here's a question for you. Do you think that
3K golds?
You're talking about this particular game. Are you saying that the comp itself is bad, or that C9 just played it bad?
No, I'm saying that the comp is bad.
Okay.
And well, C9 played it bad in the late game when they got hooked by Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
But I think the comp itself, regardless of the players in the situation, was bad. Because
of no damage. Is that your main point? Is because there's not really a main damage
You can't kill the Trundle and the Mordekaiser once they reach a certain point.
That's fair enough.
But they're not going to reach a certain point. You literally, at the point you're talking about, this impact is like 0 and 4 or 1 and 4.
Yeah, and at 25 minutes, he had a half a health item, an armor item, and he wasn't able to get killed by the Hecarim. He was behind and still unable to get killed by the Hecarim, by the Set, by the Shen. Neither could the Trundle. They were literally only, like, the Syndra and Ezreal basically didn't do anything. They got killed over and over again. And it was actually the Trundle and Mordekaiser that was killing the Hecarim, Shen, and Set. And then they lost. Because they couldn't get one shot.
Wait, no, they lost because Ezreal didn't get one shot. Ezreal did 40% damage there. This Trundle did 9.7% of the damage, while Hecarim did 32%. And then Mordekaiser did 22% of the damage, while Shen did 22.2, or 21 versus 22.
Okay, so, well, the Trundle and the Mordekaiser were not getting one shot, and the Trundle ulti was basically amplifying all the damage.
Yeah,
that is why they weren't winning. It wasn't like, sure, the Ezreal did a lot of the damage after the Trundle ulti went through, right? Yeah. And he was able to kite, and it's also Ezreal, so it's poking.
Ezreal, yeah.
So a lot of that damage is irrelevant in the actual team fights. It's actually just poking shields in the bot lane, right? That's probably like a ton of the damage in the mid game, early game, just poking shields that are healed off.
Here's why
the actual Sona Lux didn't do anything.
I don't know. Here's why I like, and I like this discussion, but we can move on soon. But this is a good discussion. I like it.
This is the only interesting thing that happened this week.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, when we get a composition like this, we need to milk the crap out of it.
This week?
Well, we can't. Hold on. We don't need to talk about TSM. TSM won.
Can't blame them. They went 2-0.
I know. That's right. That's right.
We can't waste half an hour on that.
It really wasn't as exciting though, because I do think, like, to Mitchell's point, like I understand what you're saying. Where I have a hesitation though is that I don't think we saw the best execution of it, and I think I think we would have been seeing a different story, like the early deaths by Sven and Vulcan, which shouldn't happen. The amazing plays by Core JJ shouldn't have happened. So for me, I can't say, because even with those mistakes, I feel like C9 could have still won. And so, like, I feel like if they just had a couple of things not happen, then, I think it would have been game over. And that's why I have a hard time saying automatically right now, after one showing, that this comp is bad, especially when they were at one point looking like they were going to win the game. So that's my reasoning. I think, I think there was a couple of things. Go ahead.
Counter that then, if they could have won with something different in the bot lane, easy.
Of course.
Well, I agree. Just make it a bad comp? No. If they could have just won easier and harder
No.
with an ADC and
No,
support.
it's never
Yeah, it is.
binary with compositions. You
It's
can't just
not.
say
So it
because
kind
this
of
is
is
easier,
though,
it's better.
right? If
I mean-
you play the Sona Lux bot lane comp, and if they made a couple of different choices, they would have won. But if
But
they
it's
just had an
always-
ADC and support, they would have won
Yes,
easier.
we're talking about
Winning
this
easier
game.
makes
This
for better
game,
comp.
yes,
Yeah,
but
in this game, I'm talking about if they had Aphelios Lulu instead of Sona Lux, they would
that's
have
what I'm
won.
saying. But you
easier.
can't
That's
say
what
that
all
the comp
pros are
itself
saying.
is already bad if it's just one game.
In this situation against the enemy team comp, yeah, it was bad because
I
it's
think it was
easier to
bad
win
because
with the
Blitzcrank was
ADC
open.
support.
It's
Yeah.
I
no,
do
it's
think
only
Blitz-
bad
it's
because
true.
Blitzcrank.
I think
Yeah.
Blitzcrank was.
I think Blitzcrank was
the
a-
pick that
yeah.
screwed
That's what
them.
I'm saying. In this situation, it was bad. That was literally
No, but
every
the
pro was
question,
saying that. Jensen was
League Dad's
saying that.
question is this comp bad? Like, regardless
In
of the Blitzcrank,
general,
is this
yeah, but
comp bad?
is this
Like, is
comp
this
bad?
if this
comp
comp
is
was picked?
always relative to the enemies of team comp. So that's
Well,
like
no,
if
but
you're
we're
trying to
asking,
say it
is
in a
this comp,
vacuum,
if you
that's-
actually draft it correctly, and like, let's say you
Yeah.
ban Blitz, right? Is this comp bad again? Like, literally one ban. I'm not even talking about the rest of the characters.
Well, I don't know. That's way too complicated. I've never scrimmed this.
Well,
but
that-
in this situation, every pro and
In this situation, we
as
agree
is
this is
saying-
bad. Then we're on the
Yeah.
same
okay,
page on
and
that.
We're on
that
the
is the
same
only
page.
thing I've been saying, and that I thought
Not
it was
true.
We've been
Not
saying that
true.
the Blitzcrank is the only thing that's made it bad.
Yeah.
You said no, this comp is just bad. Period. Because
Yeah, I said, is this game comp just bad? I don't think.
No, I was also citing the Mordekaiser Trundle. It was impossible to.
I don't
Yeah.
think the Mordekaiser Tunnel mattered because they literally
It
inted
definitely
so
mattered.
hard up till then.
Mordekaiser mattered a lot in that game. The ultimates.
He did, but he also gave
Oh.
up like 3 to 4 kills early, and then
Yeah,
all
but
he
that's
did was
not
basically
comp
force.
related though. That's not comp related. That's
That's
play related.
that's impact related.
I think.
Yeah, that's
I
impact.
think the comp was acceptable, but I feel like they didn't ban the champions they needed to ban in order to make it work. Because I think
Well, then that
they
makes
would have
comp
needed
bad.
to force.
By
No,
definition.
that makes the draft bad. That your comp is
Yeah,
what you
I
Yes.
think
So
the
your
draft
comp
was bad.
is the draft. Your composition is the 5 champions that you picked in drafts.
I
comp is
disagree.
I don't-
the champions
I
you
don't
want to
have
put together, right?
Opinions on the draft or on the comp because I've played against it twice in solo queue and I've seen it once, so I don't really. I'm not going to say definitively whether I think it's good or bad. I think it's annoying. I think it's boring to watch.
Mhm.
But I rest my case. I think they just needed to ban better champions.
Like-
Because I think you can't leave Ezreal and you can't leave Trundle and you can't leave Blitzcrank. up.
So Mitchell, to go to your point, then, like a draft and
What did they
composition
ban?
is different because if
I'll
you
check.
talk about if you talk about a composition, right? When we had Sona Tarek, right? That's a
Well, it's
composition.
Zero LeBlanc.
But when you go to is this game a right game for Sona Tarek, then that's a draft decision. The composition of Sona Tarek is good, but it's in the situation of this draft, is it good? So in this case, what I'm saying is that I don't think the composition's bad. To your point, I think the draft was bad, especially if they saw what they saw with the Mordekaiser, with the Trundle. So that's what
We're
I'm
just
saying.
arguing semantics then, because I'm saying that the comp is created in the draft, right? Your composition is created in the draft, and the draft is always relative. The comp, the draft, whatever you want to say, is always relative to what your opponent picks. So whatever it is, the 5 champions that were on the map against Team Liquid's 5 champions that were on the map, whatever words you want to use, was bad.
I still think that's wrong, man. Because every time we
How
go
is
to
that wrong?
because
Blitzcrank
every time,
really countered
hey,
them.
every time we look at a
Only
TSM
one
game,
champion was countering
well, no,
them.
every time we talk
Because
about
the Syndra was a
TSM,
bad
Bad
pick.
draft.
every
I think-
time we go to a TSM game, do we not say their draft was bad? It's hardly ever like that's a bad composition. Like a composition can still be good, knowing what it can do. But if they put it in a certain situation, seeing what the other person or the other team picked, then that's a
I
bad
agree.
draft.
Okay,
No.
we're arguing about semantics. Like
No,
I said,
I'm
draft
not
comp,
arguing
it doesn't
semantics.
matter. No, we
No.
are arguing about semantics, what the words mean. Whether
No.
draft means
Okay,
this
then
or comp means that. That's
I mean,
what we're arguing.
we can just agree on a definition on the words because clearly we
yeah,
just had
I'm
different
going with
definitions
your
come in.
definition. I'm going with your definition while I'm talking. I don't think you're hearing me.
I
I'm
am
saying
hearing you, but
that
when
in
I
this
asked you,
situation,
yeah,
it was
but
a bad
Mitchell,
draft.
when I
You had
asked
5
you,
champions.
but when I
Yes,
asked you
agreed.
earlier,
Bad
I
draft.
said, but Mitchell, do you think that this composition is just bad?
Yeah, that's before we that's
All
before
right.
you
Okay.
describe
Well, then
how
that's
you
where I
comp
got
it.
confused because
You know,
if you
we've
say
Been
Okay,
yelling
I'm
about this for
saying-
25 minutes.
It was the only interesting that happened this weekend. It's the only thing I thought about. Honestly, I looked at the other games. I'm like, these are snooze fest. So I just want to talk about this.
well,
Whatever
here-
you want to say.
so
these
then
5
here we go. All right,
five
so
champions suck.
tweet us whether you think draft composition means the same. Just kidding.
It doesn't matter.
But so
Uh,
here's what I want to go. Here's where I want to go. Then, at this point, then, given what we saw, because it's hard to kind of tell, because the bad draft or composition, whatever we talk about C9,
Mhm.
who is the better team? Because we talked about this last time,
They
and
both suck.
no, I mean they both suck maybe internationally, but in NA they're good. So I mean, who is actually like? Because to me, when I look at this game, yes, C9 lost. I still have a hard time thinking that C9 is not the number one team still. I still think they are. I still think they, like you said, they could have picked a better bot lane. They would have won, in my opinion. So to me, I still think C9's a better team.
I mean, just changing the ball lane, I mean, that changes a whole lot more variables because it changes up pretty much the entire draft, even down to the bans, because they probably
You don't
came
pick
into the
Blitz
game saying they
anymore.
were going to pick
They
were gonna
second
pick
rounded
Sona
Sona
Lux.
Lux. So
Mhm.
yeah,
So
it
they
would be
came
total.
in thinking that, so it changes so many things. So I think saying if they picked a better bot lane,
Yeah,
I feel like that's not really fair to say they would
True.
have won the game.
They don't pick Sona. They don't pick fucking Blitzcrank Ezreal anymore. Maybe Ezreal they pick, but they don't pick Blitz anymore if they see it. They don't play as up as much, so Hecarim doesn't get like 3 or 4 easy kills early game, which he
Yeah.
can convert elsewhere and slam everyone else.
Yeah.
But
Different champions are open.
that's semantics. What I think is C9 is the better team overall. Unless if you say the whole split, I still think C9 is the better team, even despite this win. Because yes, at the end of the day, they drafted a little poorly. They had hubris and they left Blitzcrank up. Like it was so
Mhm.
dumb to watch. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Liquid fucked up the draft too. They picked Syndra into a 4 shield comp. Like, what do you actually think you're gonna
Yeah,
burst? She didn't
yeah.
do shit. She
That's
got
true.
absolutely wrecked. Here's the thing though. If you talk about recent strength, like a power ranking style, Liquid's like 8-1. They lost to FlyQuest. This is the most recent. They were 7 wins in a row, and then they beat C9. C9 has lost 3 games in the last 9 games, so they're
Good
6-3. The way Liquid won it was pretty garbage. Not gonna lie, like 2 of those wins, at least in my opinion, were like, oh, good to God. But a dub's a dub at the end of the day. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's always my argument. Like,
So
you
like
win,
it's
you
so
win.
hard for me to argue that an 8-1 team is relatively speaking weaker than a 6-3. This might be the one time you can argue it, but I would put it out there that Liquid still looks better on the whole right now in terms of relative strength. But it depends on how you count those coin flip wins, I guess.
Yeah,
Because C9 did not have coin flip losses
right.
or wins.
When they
during their-
win, they win definitively. I mean, and then when they lose, to me, it seems like, I mean, like even this one, they were up, right? So you think it's not like they got smashed. So
No,
you
they
never.
didn't get smashed. Well,
And
they did lose it in one Baron push basically right afterward.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but that's because their comp was that's what their comp was
True.
built on. It was
Yeah.
we needed to keep momentum. Once they get the 4th cloud or cloud slot, they win. It's
Yeah.
just like Exodia. They just come over. Hecarim is fast as fuck, and there's
Okay.
nothing they can do about the Elder.
Well, then who do you think is going to get first by the end of the split? Let's just go ahead and, since we're talking, this is the Team Liquid C9 episode. We'll just,
TSM,
we'll just
baby.
title it
Who
that.
did C9 lose to?
TSM, yeah!
So C9 lost to
Yeah!
100 Thieves, Team Liquid, and who? EG?
Evil geniuses.
Yeah.
With
Yikes.
Svenskeren and Golden Glue. Dude,
With
God.
Huni,
Huni
man.
and Golden Glue.
God.
Oh, sorry.
Dude,
Yeah,
Huni
yeah.
played so badly
Oh
this
my God.
weekend.
Svenskeren played so badly too. He's
Yeah, he
like,
did.
what happened to him?
I don't know.
And C9 lost to them last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah,
At least
last week.
Huni's consistently bad, right?
Yeah, you know what you're going to get with him.
Dude, that
I-
Camille game was so painful. Having every gank thrown his way and then just throw it
Yeah.
over and over.
Imagine putting all that gold on him. He's not ruined, dude. So like,
How
come
about
on,
that?
you can't-
How about that money?
How about
Yeah.
$2
that?
million to run it down, dude. I love it.
Oh my god.
I can't feel
what,
bad. I can't hate the
2.3
player,
million?
man. That's the thing. Like, yeah. I mean, that's
no
a whole different-
refunds.
Yeah, no refunds on this guy. Sorry, too late.
I'd love to get paid
His
$2 million.
Twitter
Dignitas
broke
should have done
down. That'd be
Dignitas
great.
should have done a much better job, anyways, when they're, when they were picking a roster. But
I think it's just very fitting that he put his only good character is GP with all that bonus money.
all
going
that
on.
bonus money.
Yeah, hey,
That's
hey.
funny.
Yeah,
All right,
I mean,
so,
they did get Johnson though, so you can't.
Yes.
I like
I still think
Johnson.
Johnson's really good.
and
You know why they got him? Because he was cheap, and that's all they could afford after Huni.
Yeah, but
But he's
who el-
good.
Who else would they have picked up?
Yeah, hey, you look
Who
out.
else would they pick up? I don't know. I mean, you saw FBI stats. Did you see the other day when they put it up? It was like first in everything.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no.
It was
FBI
like
pops
first
off.
in everything or second. I was like, wait. I mean, I knew he was decent, but I was like, what are those numbers? When you have
All those
Hui as your
Wukong games are
support,
hurting Zen.
Yeah.
That is true.
when you have Hui as your support, like they were praising Hui the last game, the GGS game, and I was like watching the cast. I'm like, what kind of Twilight Zone I've entered? It was his best set game I've ever seen, or his best
That's not
support
saying
game I've
much,
ever
though.
seen. But like, I was like, dude, come on now.
Not
Like this guy is so boosted in support.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
I can't with Huni or Huhi.
Who
Well, I
he-
can't
I
with
can't
Huni.
with either, man. I can't with either.
Well-
Huni, same thing, man.
I think you know, they mentioned it too. Well, what game was it where I think the only carry they had was on oh shoot, I can't even remember. It was against Golden Guardians, Dignitas, where no, I'm sorry, that wasn't the game. Who was it? Who's the first team they played? You guys remember? Dignitas played against TSM, that's right. Speaking of
How
TSM,
could you forget?
I don't know. But they mentioned they put Dardoch on Karthus and they put Johnson
on Tom Kench.
on Tom Kench. And so what they were saying is basically you put like, you know, your bot lane has basically been one of your brightest spots, and then you have Dardoch who's been a bright spot, and they basically put like a farming jungler on Dardoch and didn't really enable like Johnson to really do anything, and Phoenix was your Echo, and like, you know, it just didn't make sense.
Viper. And
Yeah, they started Viper. You're like, so a lot of that.
Viper got wrecked. He made Broken look good on
garbage, man. Like, I'm sorry, but I feel bad for saying it, but Viper is hot garbage, man. He needs to get out ASAP. Like,
I thought Lorlo was doing like
me too.
way
I thought he was
better than
fine.
Viper.
I also think Viper kind of is. I don't think the top meta is his style right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's part of the
He's not good
issue.
in this meta. I agree with
Because
that.
like last split and even last year, he was popping off because I think it was a better meta. You know, it was a carry meta. You had Aatrox, you had Mordekaiser, you had.
I mean, this is still kind of a carry meta. He's playing Jace. He's playing. He can play Camille in this meta.
But like, if you're a top lane main, like just because a character is called carry doesn't mean it's your style of character. Like there are certain pools of characters that just fit your archetype. Like
he has a certain pool of character. Riven.
You can only play two
champions like Aatrox go well with him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So if you want to say that's a pool, I guess it's a very small pool.
It's like a kiddie pool.
Fiora, Jax, and some other top laner, Yasuo, for this next patch. So.
All right. Maybe. Well, let's move on from Viper because that's boring. Let's talk about TSM because that's 2-0, baby. TSM and FlyQuest. TSM and FlyQuest, they both went 2-0. So I'm happy my team went 2-0. It wasn't against the best competition, but we'll take them. You know, they beat CLG.
Wins.
They beat,
wins
or wins.
CLG TSM game I actually do want to mention as being one of the worst games I've
ever. You say that every time.
No, this one. Because it's getting worse. Like, did you see that game? Yes. Ruin actually flung 4 people into the blast plant to let them safely exit. I watched that and I was like, my friend was spectating and they were like, how did only 2 people die there? I was like,
yeah.
I was like actually losing it.
Having a stroke.
You were hyperventilating.
It was so bad. It was one of the worst competitive Gnarls I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Serious question: who's worse, Ruin or Viper? Because it's getting way too close for me. Like
I think Viper's worse.
They give more resources to Ruin, so it's more of a disaster when he does poorly. But Viper, like, I understand why they're not giving resources to Viper. So I think actually Viper currently. Viper is doing worse.
Yeah,
I've seen Viper play well. Like we've all seen this guy rise. So like when the champions change up, they should put him in. But for now, Laurel can play it fine. So why don't you put your other character? I don't know why Viper came back in. They were actually going on the up and up, and they're like, okay, we'll sub out Laurel. Darlock looks good, and it's weird.
Yeah,
I don't know. Ruin is getting close to being one of the worst top laners in the league for me.
Oh, he's definitely at the bottom of that list.
He's at least bottom 2 or 3 for me.
We're talking about like 9th versus 10th here, so it's kind of hard.
Wait,
is there anyone worse than these two for top laners?
Hooney's getting close. Hooney's getting really close.
If we're talking about value, money to performance ratio.
Yeah, you're definitely overpaying the most with Hooney. But
not a lot of gold efficiency there.
Hooney's getting close. Honestly, Broken Blade this weekend kind of saved him, but last weekend Broken Blade was down there for me. Like, oof.
I mean, I wasn't even liking his Wukong. To me, just didn't look as good. Like I felt like his ults could have been better. But I mean, they went 2-0. FlyQuest went 2-0. But on the flip side, Immortals and CLG both 0-2. I'm kind of sad because I thought there was a little bit of a bright spot with Immortals, you know, getting Insanity and Alorum, and I thought they were going to be...
kind of had a rough schedule, though.
They played Cloud9 and...
It's Cloud9 EG, I mean, like...
Yeah.
They could have beaten EG for sure, though. Yeah. They're not that good.
They definitely could have, but, I mean, one of them was almost a guaranteed loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, next week they have a much easier schedule. They have 100 Thieves and Dig.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice, and hopefully they can bounce back. I mean, it's been pretty rough.
It feels
And
bad watching Smithy on this team.
yeah,
Feels so bad.
The man actually needs to get out of Elo hell. I don't know who's gonna take him, but
TSM, man, come
Dude,
on.
TSM, like memes
Alistair's with
aside,
me.
memes
Alistair's
aside,
with
I
me.
think that would be good because
no,
that,
it would
that's
be good for
why.
TSM, but they're not gonna
They're
let
not
him
gonna do
on.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
you know how stubborn they are.
Nah, but Double Lift's good friends with Smithy, so I feel like he would vouch for him.
I guess then Lena will vouch for him too. Okay, there's a chance.
See, there you go.
You're
There's
not
a chance.
wrong.
Our double and
would you be
Like
down
Smithy was
for
good
Smithy?
on Team
Go back
Liquid.
to Team Liquid?
Kevin would be.
Back to Team Liquid. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Oh.
please, man. I just want it. I hate Broxa. Sorry,
What?
man.
I don't hate Brox. I think he could grow, but like I've already given him a split and a half, right? And he's not there yet.
I love
He
Broxa's
doesn't make me feel secure when I watch him jungle. So I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
same, man. I'm
So
like,
when
Broxa's gonna fuck something up. I just feel
I
it.
would like Xmithy back because with tactical now, like what can go wrong on the team? You have two rocks on the team, and then you can just carry. Like
Yeah.
it's
I feel
really
like
simple.
Smithy on Team Liquid, massive upgrade. They could definitely beat Club.
All right,
Like, I would be
Kevin,
like-
real quick, one question. Would you rather have Someday replace Impact or Xmithy replace Broxa?
Oh, definitely
Smithy,
Xmithy.
rocks.
Okay.
What?
Smithy
Impact's
because jungle is so much more important.
All right. Just wanted to
Impact is fine.
I know.
He like yes he ints, but like when he like picks shit, and the other team's like, oh
I
shit,
don't
no, no,
know.
no.
I
Like
don't really
he always
have
comes up with like
faith
one
yet.
or two picks where I'm like his old Gnar. I was like,
Yeah.
oh god, C9 Impact is coming.
Yeah.
I think jungle's the clear problem here.
Okay.
Like even if Broxa has looked okay
Yeah.
at times, it's just like he's an import. He's a
Yeah.
very important spot on the
piece.
team.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good
Yeah.
point. Okay, well,
All right, so
go ahead.
here's one. What do you think? Next split, they're gonna import like Duke for top lane and then get Smithy in the jungle.
Oh my god.
Oh, for Liquid or for
Yeah, for Liquid.
TSM?
For Liquid.
I was like, because TSM could use those two slots
They,
as well.
they could too, actually.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because TSM doesn't have any imports other
Yeah.
than BB.
They
I
have.
don't think Duke is coming to NA, man.
Nah,
He's
I don't think
cashing
so.
out in
Yeah,
China.
he's cashing out.
Yeah, but you cash out even more in NA.
Why?
No. China pays more than NA.
China pays a lot.
China
Does it
pays
really?
more than NA.
Yeah.
That's why there's never been a Chinese import in the NA. Despite,
I didn't
because,
know that
like,
actually.
yeah,
They got
because
the
China
big
pays
one.
more now. There was a season 5 or 4, I think it was. NA definitely paid more.
Yeah.
But because China got a huge name sponsors, they have like 20 teams or 18 teams in their league right now.
It's a lot.
And they're huge. It's
Yeah.
because it's just bigger as a culture. Like esports culture is bigger in Asia, so it's
Yeah.
the sponsorship.
I mean, they're
is
really
bigger.
rock stars over there. All right, I
NA
want
is
to
inflated here.
I want
with
to
our
talk
income.
about something real quick before we go into predictions, and it's this idea. And as I was watching some of the games, and I'm sure we've mentioned it here and there, but I just wanted to get your thoughts. You know, what I'm liking in the mid lane of what I've been seeing is that, you know, I feel like there's this evolution now of two distinct types of players. One, you have like the more lane dominant, you know, person who you can always kind of rely on, put in a carry. We mentioned Bjergsen a lot of
Jensen.
times. Yeah, Jensen is very lane dominant. But then you have people who are also doing well on like the Galio or these roaming type of mid laners. For example, Niski. But another one I've been looking at a lot lately is Ryoma. Like, I feel like Ryoma has been, if you watch his past few games lately, he's been picking stuff where he's been not winning lane by any means, but he's been playing well in synergy with their jungler. And so what I'm hoping to see is that maybe we'll start to value players not just on one type of skill that they have, but more on, you know, does their style fit? Because I think at this point, you know, what, 10 seasons in of League of Legends, everybody's past a certain skill cap. Before it was just like the best team had the best player. Well, okay, Kevin's laughing. Maybe not an A. We're talking about, but generally speaking, like professionals are at a pretty high skill level.
Ica was in this league for a while. I'm just saying.
That's true. But what I'm
Viper's
trying.
still here, guys?
Viper's still here, but what I'm trying to get at is that, like, it's not just how before it was the best players on the one team, they were the best team. Now it's like stylistics, a lot of that. So I just wanted to point that out and get your thoughts on that, and you know, if you've noticed that as well, because I think it's neat. I like if there are teams that are more focused on objectives, roaming around the map, then, you know, maybe you don't want to lane dom. Maybe a Bjergsen actually wouldn't be a good fit for you. Whereas if you're like, no, we just need strong lanes to win. And do this, then maybe you pick someone like Jensen or whatever. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Do you guys agree, disagree? Do you guys see anything there as well?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, I don't think Blabber looks that good on any other team because Niski is sack so much in the mid
Exactly.
lane to
Yep.
help him out. And I made this argument like a couple podcasts ago, but FPX is looking way worse because they got Khan instead of Gimgoon.
Yeah.
Right? Gimgoon always played weak side every single game. Khan demands resources.
Yeah.
He demands attention, and they look worse in the LPL right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the thing. Like, you don't want 3 carries.
That's
you really
right.
don't. You want 2. Mid
TSM.
bot or top mid, you know,
I don't
like
think 3 carries has ever won.
yeah, it really hasn't.
World.
Yeah.
And,
I'm trying to think of an
gotten
example.
close, but
Yeah.
you know, even SKT, it was always like Faker. If Faker's not the carry, he's playing Lulu, and then you have like Marn on Rumble and Bang on Ezreal or Lucian or something.
Or then Marin's like one of his signature champions other than Renekton was fucking Maokai, like
Yeah,
a super
Maokai.
high win, like a 90+% win rate. Like that.
Yeah.
That's not what I think of when I think of Khan. Like his Ornn does not inspire fear in me at all. So
Yeah. Exactly.
I agree. I think League has always been about that to some extent. It's just like the stars shine so brightly that you think to yourself like, oh, this guy's like a god player. The only time a supportive mid laner though has ever won worlds was last year though.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah,
Like
But that's what I'm
a
saying.
main supporter.
Exactly.
And like it's kind of like a revolution in thinking for teams because they're like, we can just play Galio every game or whatever, what have you, and it will work. And like TF is good right now too. And
Exactly,
people are a
too.
lot more flexible what they're thinking because like C9's leveled up a lot when they've started just like, we'll let Niski just roam. We don't care about CS differences. We don't care about solo kills. And like it works. He just smashes and people don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
Like so to the Ryoma point that we started this with, I think if the last 7 games they're like 4-3 or something, you put the tag Bjergsen on this guy and like people would be like, okay, he's not playing amazing, but they're like, oh, you know, this is fine. He's doing his job. He's good.
Yeah.
Like you saw him running in on TSM. I'm like, holy
That's
shit,
what I
100
mean.
Thieves like Ryoma's like not terrible. He just doesn't have the name brand value, and he was pretty garbage when he came. So like that didn't help his reputation.
He's improved.
I've liked his improvements, yeah. And I think maybe he's found like a niche. Like he doesn't have to be the best laner if he is in sync with his jungler. And, you know, to your point, even like with this whole roaming mentality, we saw that a little bit with G2, right? Like the fact that they're swapping roles even like just...
Wait. G2 is on fire right now. Wait a second.
I mean, I'm talking about like when we first saw it, like this whole, revolution of like roaming just anywhere, playing different kinds of like typical supports in the top lane just like unconventional things that we were seeing that were like, holy crap. And I feel like last year was a great season to start to see like this kind of change. And so that's why I'm noticing it like in NA, and I hope that will be more distinct where they start to notice players for certain things, because, you know, you have it in like, I always reference basketball, but again, like think of like a point guard. There are some point guards known for their dribbling abilities, getting to the lane and dishing out. They're good assist players. They can play make. Where there are other point guards who are good at like shooting. You know, they're called shooting guards sometimes. But like everybody has a strength, and a team picks them based on their particular strength. And I'm hoping that maybe in the future, we won't just try to sign all the big brand names, you know, just for the org's sake, but that they actually pick players that their strength lines up with what the org or what the coaches are trying to accomplish on the Rift. And that's something that I'm starting to see, and I don't know if that's intentional, unintentional, but I hope it's more intentional in the future, and that we see more of that kind of roster, like the way they put those rosters together. So go ahead, Kevin.
The thing is, like, you have to be a big enough brand to do that. C9 could do that with their branding because C9 is one of the biggest esports brands, period. Like, if you're a newer brand, like 100 Thieves or something, you need to have some level of not just... Okay, so here's what I'm trying to say. You need talent, right? You need like the winningness orgs and stuff like that. But you also need name brands. If you don't have name brands on your org, you're going to die. You're going to be like, no one will care if you win. Like FlyQuest can get second, and if there's not enough star power, like they have Wild Turtle at that time, and that's about it. Yeah. And they barely got any attention. Like C9 was able to literally survive for the last 4 or 5 years as the number 1 or 2 NA brand, depending on how TSM was doing that split. Yeah. Literally, even though they didn't win a single time. They may have got second a lot, but they didn't win a single time, right? And they were still extremely relevant. Everyone always cared about how C9 was doing. And that's because they had Sneaky at the time. Yeah. I forget who else they had at the time, but they had like Sneaky at the time, and they had a bunch of just like likable players.
I mean, they had High, they had like, you know, Meteos, they had like Jensen, Trash Talkers. So like, they had a lot of people.
Throughout the years, they've had like not just like the best talent, I think.
They've had good personalities, yeah. So that's why I think like a team like Mad Lions is doing really well.
Yeah.
And they have no brand before, right?
Mhm.
But the reason why they're first place and people like them is because they're hilarious. Like you see their end of game shots and they're always memeing like when they win. Like they beat G2 and they're memeing, they beat Fnatic, they're memeing.
Yeah.
In their post game interviews, they're hilarious. So it's like you have to have personality because FlyQuest,
exactly. That's good.
as great as they are, being second place last bit, they're boring, man.
Yeah.
All I know them is for Sequest.
And that's
all I know.
It's good for them though. Like that's how they're getting.
That's
that's great PR.
They need to do way more.
I think to your point, what you're saying there, Mitchell, is that I think maybe nowadays there might be more ways to get brand recognition than just star power. You can have, imagine, I don't care if it's like Immortals or, Dignitas. If Dignitas was winning's always going to bring, attention. And it's through that, momentum of winning. Can the organization use that to then build on their brand? You have
to use it well, though.
Exactly.
Because FlyQuest is definitely an example of not using it that great.
Yeah.
Like I do know Sequest and TreeQuest, but that's it. Like
that's it. Yeah.
I don't tune into Power Beagles or Santorin's stream. They're boring,
man. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
I'm not their first split where they got second really well.
They did.
Oh, 100%.
Because I've never heard of 100 Thieves before because I don't watch COD League. So I was like, okay, whatever. And now I care a bit about what they do in other esports because I was like, they do good branding. They have good merch. They don't have very good players, but they're interesting. So they've kept that rolling even though they lost Afro, who was their huge signing at the time.
Yeah.
And
I think they had issues with the coach though, isn't that why they lost?
Yeah. But like the point is like they lost the star player, but they still didn't lose like a lot of fans. They're still like a decent sized org. I think they're like 5th or 6th in terms of the most fans, maybe 4th.
Yeah.
Because it's Liquid, TSM, C9, right?
I imagine.
Are you talking about in placing?
I think TSM.
No, not in placing. TSM is number 1.
Oh, you mean brand?
TSM is way number 1.
I'm just saying the 3. I just named 3 brands.
Yeah.
The top 3, in no
CLG
order.
maybe.
CLG's dead. No.
CLG is dead.
Whenever you see
I
CLG get flamed, do you see anyone come up and be like,
That's true. That's a good point.
Nobody's fighting.
like
Nobody's
Hotshot's not
defending
even
them.
on CLG anymore. Like who?
He
No
isn't?
one. He isn't. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I
That's
was like,
okay. Yeah, fair enough.
You didn't know what?
Hotshot's not a part of CLG as an org.
Yeah, no, he's not. He
I didn't even know that.
He hasn't been for years, actually.
Yeah, he hasn't been for years.
No, I do remember that.
Okay.
I think that's part of the reason why, maybe part of the reason, but he just also doesn't have the same kind of work ethic that Reggie does. Like Reggie,
clearly not. He also didn't build a very good org compared to Reggie.
He sold to Madison Square Garden so fast. After
I don't know anything about MSG. Are they a basketball like?
It's terrible. I don't know what other stuff they manage, but just judging by the Knicks, like it's terrible. Like they
own the Knicks.
Don't do well with any of their leagues.
They're really bad.
Why are they considered a big prestigious like financial group?
Because they started off with a lot of money and they kept it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they do other stuff and they
Yeah. So well, just wanted to bring that up, and I thought that was a pretty cool talking point. We'll have to see how orgs begin to shape up. Let's go to predictions. So last week, we all had we were pretty similar on a lot of things, but I will say all of us ended up with 7 right. So congratulations to us. Not bad.
It's better than some casters' dogs and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly. I'm better than coin flips, maybe, right, Alistair? Although I did have Alistair coin flip one of my decisions, and I think I
coin flipped 2 of them.
Yeah, so you coin flipped 2.
Yeah, I got one right here.
We all tied. That's a good coin.
It's a good coin. All right, so here we go. Let's recap real quick. Wait, am I looking at the right? Yeah.
We're gonna get so
Evil Geniuses versus Immortals. So only Alistair put Immortals. So me, Kevin, and Mitchell got a point there. Team Liquid versus FlyQuest. We all got it wrong, and FlyQuest won that one.
Especially knowing how the C9 game, like how the hell would anyone predict that?
I should have predicted FlyQuest, man.
I know, man, Mitchell. I'm disappointed in you, man.
Hey,
come on,
so bad.
That's your team, bro.
I'm pretty sure no one predicted FlyQuest. I bet the betting sites were like 10-1 or some shit.
I mean, we were all saying like before, like TL and C9, one of them were supposed to go 2-0 this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We thought
they
that
were
was
both supposed to go 1-1.
That's true.
They both suck. That's why.
They both play
Every
bad.
team sucks.
All right.
There's
So,
no league. So
well,
just
I
one
mean,
team.
yeah. I mean, I get if you think about it, 4 teams went either 2-0 or 0-2, so they were either really good, really bad. The rest were all 1-1, so that kind of shows you the poop fest that is NA. Anyways, Saturday, 100 Thieves versus CLG. We all predicted 100 Thieves, so we got a point there. TSM versus Dignitas. Only Alistair predicted Dig because he likes Dignitas a lot, but fair enough. So the rest of us got a point for TSM. FlyQuest versus Golden Guardians. Was that Mitchell? Did you say something?
The only one that's gonna be different next is Team Liquid,
C9.
whatever. C9. Yeah, that's
easy,
where,
easy. I
Yeah.
take
that's where he
those.
comes up. Yeah.
Well, let's go on. So FlyQuest Golden Guardians, we all got that right, predicting FlyQuest. C9 versus Immortals, we all got that right, predicting C9. Dignitas versus Evil Geniuses, we all got, actually, Alistair got this right because he predicted Dignitas to win because he does like Dignitas. So he got the win there.
So hard, man.
C9 versus Team Liquid. Again, all of us except Mitchell got that one right because Mitchell predicted C9. So maybe that's why you were so mad, I think, because you predicted C9.
I mean, a little bit. Come on, man.
I agree. Okay. It puts it into
gold.
context now. Yeah, I get it.
4K gold, 3 Drakes, and you lose?
Yeah,
The next
dude.
Drake is literally Soul, and all it has to do is Sven doesn't dodge, or no, Sven dodges, or Blabber doesn't dodge.
Yeah,
Or,
that's great.
or like you have they got a 3K gold lead at 12 minutes.
Yeah, dude.
How insane is that, man?
I agree.
I
man.
mean,
I'm
for
a little
sure.
salty myself.
For
was so
sure. And then
bad.
they messed up that one dive bot, and then it's like, no, TL did a dive bot, got 2 kills, got the turret, and then it became a 1.8k. So
Yeah.
that's when it was all off of some very good plays from Liquid.
I think we
Nice
flamed
top
this draft enough, right?
We did,
Nine's
yeah.
top side is so insanely good, man.
Man,
It's
Yeah.
we flamed the
so
draft
good.
so much I couldn't flame Blabber this game. God dang.
I know.
Hey, Blabber
So
played
close.
it really well, except
He
for
did.
literally like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And the last fight. The last fight he could have cleared the minions. Instead he went for a kill. If he cleared the
Well, the
minions,
game
they
was already
survived.
over at that point.
I mean, it's the difference between losing the game and trying for another couple minutes. But yes,
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
was
saying
cool.
he's.
Leave it to Kevin to find the one little Blabber mistake.
I've been flaming Broxa for like 30 minutes. I say
Got
one
a
bad
point.
thing about Blabber, and it's an anti-Blabber stream.
true.
I get it.
All
I
right.
get
You know what?
it.
He needs someone to flame because TSM went 2-0. So
I do.
Well, TSM
I
went
do
2-0
need
and
somebody
Speaka
for-
played fine. So
Whatever.
yeah.
I'm still not a Speaka
Flash
fan.
it to the wall, man. Flash it to the wall.
Why did we not bring that up? That's
Double
why did
M
we
is
not bring that
collecting
up?
checks. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
dude,
Okay.
oh, shoot.
Okay. I was so confused. I'm like, how did Narc get that knock? And then I was like, I watched it back. I'm like, oh my god.
I'm dying right now, man. I'm
which
dying.
game was this? I must have missed this.
It was the CLG TSM game.
CLG,
It was just
yeah.
double versus the Gnar. And I was like, this Gnar pick is very weird. And then Ruin played it garbage, and I was like, oh no.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh
It's
god.
It's just a problem when we don't even talk about double anymore because he's not been very good.
Yeah.
Even though
He's
he was
so
2-0.
mediocre, man.
He's fine. He was fine this week, but like he did literally flash in a wall.
Yeah. we
He's
did.
so mediocre. Like he's supposed to be the best. He's like actually, literally, you go back a year podcast ago, we were only talking about double lift
Yeah.
all the time, every single podcast.
Agreed. Yep.
Where you at, bro?
Where are you at?
Well, I mean, I think that's an
Well,
issue.
well,
'cause
he was playing poorly last.
Yeah, I'm talking like last year though, right?
Last year, yeah.
2019, double lift,
Yeah.
every single podcast. We
yeah.
mentioned
Sure.
probably the majority.
Carried by Core JJ is my new headcanon. Sorry about that.
Ouch. Oh man.
I'm kidding.
Okay, let's
Almost
move
good.
on. Let's move on to CLG versus TSM. We all picked TSM there. 100 Thieves versus Golden Guardians. Me and Kevin got this wrong because we picked 100 Thieves, and Alistair and Mitchell got it right. They picked Golden Guardians. So all in all, though, it all worked out.
For me, bro.
We all
That was-
ended. Yeah, it was pretty much. So we all got, 7, whatever. That's pretty good, considering.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Um,
Considering one of the
7%.
weeks was 3, I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this week, we didn't discuss this beforehand. We usually do, but I got to say the match of the week is probably TSM C9, right?
Let's see. I didn't
I mean,
look
Yeah,
the only
get
other
some
one,
Yeah.
TSM
I mean,
C9.
TL doesn't really play anyone that interesting.
Well, there's TSM versus Evil Geniuses, but EG's kind of fallen off. There's FlyQuest versus Evil Geniuses. So those two are other contenders, but I still think TSM C9 is probably going to be the
oh yeah,
marquee
Yeah, I would
matchup.
agree.
So
I
that
think
happens
so.
on Sunday. So let's start there. What do you
So should I
guys
flip
think?
a coin for all of these?
You're gonna flip a coin for TSM C9?
No, every single one we go baseline with the coin. So you get higher or
Baseline
lower
with
than the
the
coin.
coin.
Oh no! I'm so scared.
That's a
This
good.
is the most scared I have ever been to make
All right, I'm
predictions.
putting the coin. I'm actually gonna put the coin
right,
as one of
coin.
our.
Alright,
As,
I
hold on,
already-
hold on. Let me
This
write
is a
this
new
down.
segment. I actually
This is
like it
great.
so much. We
This
do it
is
every
so
time.
good. Okay,
I like this.
I like it.
Oh,
The coin
goodness
versus
gracious.
the coin versus
analyst.
all. Oh my.
My
word.
ego is gonna get destroyed.
I'm really
Yeah, the
scared
actual-
actually.
The actual analyst desk, they would do like the coin versus like the dogs, right? Like who's
Who's be-
Jat's dog or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Jat's dog
man.
actually had like a 60% or something.
That's funny. Okay, all right. So let's start with TSM C9. Who do you guys got?
Cloud9, if you freaking lose, I'm just gonna be like, you guys might not even be the best team anymore. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna go C9, and if
Okay.
they lose, then we got issues.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is the last. They've earned a lot of chances with me, right? Because they've been the best
Yeah.
for a while. This is the
Mhm.
last one, man. You lose
I
this
mean,
one, Cloud9.
this is
I'm jumping
nothing.
off.
This is nothing compared to me voting for TSM and them disappointing me. I've had that feeling like plenty of times.
Yeah. Well,
all right,
I
Kevin.
had to go through a liquid ninth. Okay, y'all are just these are baby stuff.
We're all talking about our hardships.
I'm not a fan of Cloud9, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
ready to jump off ship. So I don't
He's
care.
ready.
Yeah, Cloud9, and if they lose, we actually have to have a serious discussion about their placement because it's
Yeah.
it's
They might not win the split if they lose this one. I might start going Team Liquid or TSM wins the split.
Wait, how does the tiebreaker work between these two teams? If that world
If
ever
they both get
happens,
first?
I don't know.
Yeah. because they're 1-1.
It should be they either do an actual tiebreaker
Yeah.
or they do like strength of wins, so whoever won faster.
I think Liquid went faster. That last game was really fast.
They should just do a tiebreaker game at the end. of the
I
game.
would rather have a
Yeah, I'd
tiebreaker
have a-
game.
rather have a
Most people are
tiebreaker.
I think
salty
that's what
about it.
happens every
Yeah.
year.
Okay, so we all voted C9 there, I think. What
Alright.
does the
Yes.
what does
So
the
we'll go-
coin say?
We'll say heads is TSM.
I went C9. I went C9.
Heads is TSM.
Heads is
Heads is
TSM.
TSM.
What is it?
All right, we got C9 from the coin.
The coin is
Okay.
the coin is on the
Smart
same
coin.
lines as
Smart coin.
Our coin.
Oh, this is so funny, man. I'm gonna be so mad if the coin beats us. Oh my god.
Watch the coin go 10-0.
I know. This
Yeah.
Coin
God.
needs to predict first before I predict. That's all I'm saying.
Next time we have to start the coin from the very beginning of the split to see if overall the coin beats
Oh,
us,
I'm down.
'cause
That'd be great.
That would be really crazy.
Okay.
Yo,
All right.
put the coin in worlds.
Yeah,
we can do that. We can do it for
We're gonna
world.
do World's prediction.
Alright.
I'll
Okay.
do that.
All right. Friday. So first game is Team Liquid versus Dignitas. I'm gonna just say Team Liquid.
Liquid.
Yeah,
So
Thanks for not asking me. I appreciate it.
You know, I mean, I knew it, Kevin.
Liquid's heads. All right, we got Dig.
Ooh, the coin has
I'm not liking the
spoken.
coin ship.
Ooh, okay. Evil Geniuses versus TSM. I gotta go with my. See, now I'm going
Yeah, I'm going
TSM.
TSM. EG sucks. They beat Cloud9 and they still suck.
Yeah.
I'm going EG.
EG.
Oh,
Kevin.
okay. It's going EG.
Kevin's
I'll
crazy.
go TSM as well.
Kevin's
I
crazy.
don't
Coin
trust them
is-
as far as I can throw them.
All right, coin is EG as well.
EG.
Easy.
Wait, what was heads? Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I go the first one. Or sorry,
Okay.
Blue's head. Red
Okay,
side's
I got you.
tails.
I got you.
That's
Okay.
just how I do it.
That's fine. All right, Saturday, first game's 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. I mean, FlyQuest look good, but how come I'm like with Kevin? Like their wins don't like wow me, so I'm always like.
Yeah.
I mean, Team Liquid's wins don't wow me either, so who cares?
That win against C9 wowed me. I don't know what
A
you're
lot
talking
of
about.
wins
It wowed
don't,
me in
though.
the wrong way.
I mean,
We never specified what kind of wow.
But even though Team
most
Liquid's
games
wins
don't wow me at all, to be
I
honest.
mean, even though Team Liquid's games don't wow me, they still wow me a little more than FlyQuest's games.
Wait, really though? Because
Yeah.
FlyQuest smashed
yeah,
Impact.
because
to the top
we get to
lane.
watch Tactical pop off.
That was. I mean, I watched Solo pop
Maybe
off
that's-
on.
Do
a
you, wait, do you
counter
get
matchup.
wowed when Impact loses lane in regular season?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Wow.
Wow, that's
That's to be
Okay.
expected
Really?
nowadays.
a very
though.
flexible interpretation of the word
That's-
wow.
that's
to be
a-
Wow, is that
fair.
really a 4-time NA champion world champ? Oh my god, he lost in Kennen versus Renekton, the most perennial counter
That's
matchup.
true, Kevin. What do you have to say for yourself?
I mean, I've
In a
seen Bjergsen, a
1v2.
7-time NA champion, go international.
But was that really
many
what
times
was
now.
that really Impact's fault, or was that Broxa taking his?
It's kind
We
of
Mosey
we
on
all saw
time.
the 1v2 top lane, alright?
Good.
I think that was...
He died.
man.
1v2 in a counter matchup. Come
That's
on,
true.
man.
He flashed
Yeah,
away
yeah,
and died
that-
to minions, alright?
That one was an
He
impact.
flashed
That
away
one was an
and
impact. Classic.
That was such an impact. I
God.
cannot believe it.
I don't know why he waited so long to flash. Good gosh.
He
Okay.
flashed and died to
Dude,
creeps. That was
it's
the funniest
online
thing.
play, high
20
ping
million.
environment.
All right. Those are good excuses,
His
Kevin.
girlfriend was in the room.
His girlfriend was in the room. What else, Kevin? What
and
else
his
you got?
dog.
He was
I
playing a
love how-
PS4 controller for some
That's
reason.
what it
Oh,
was.
He was giving Cloud9 false hope. That's what it was.
Kevin's got all the right excuses for his team. I like it.
Easy.
I like it. Okay. All right. So wait, I'm the only one that said I said FlyQuest so far. Anybody else going?
I'll go FlyQuest.
FlyQuest. Everybody. Mitchell. Kevin. What do
Yeah,
you got?
FlyQuest. Even though I don't
Alright.
like the strength of their wins, I mean they still are doing
Okay.
more consistent
So,
work.
there's-
What'd the
there's
coin
still,
say?
Like, what, top four,
Coin's
top
FlyQuest.
five, right?
Coin is FlyQuest. Good job. Coin.
Wow, look at that.
All right. C9 versus Golden Guardians. Anybody going Golden Guardians here?
I
No.
mean, this is like one of those wins where we're gonna lose because Golden Guardians randomly beats them. Like,
Unless
Yeah,
the
Golden
coin-
Closer's just gonna have the game of his life.
Unless the
Like, Closer
coin
and FBI are
predicts
just
it's gonna
gonna
be
Golden
one of
pop
those
off.
games. Like Cloud9's just gonna randomly lose for no reason, but no.
All right. Let's see the coin, Alistair. What is
Alright,
it?
let's see. Who is... Alright, we got Cloud9 as heads.
All right.
Okay.
Alright. Coin says Golden Guardian.
Wow.
This is where the coin's gonna win. Oh my gosh. The coin is really big brain if Golden Guardians win. Oh my
Dude, if the
gosh.
coin wins, I'm gonna be a little
Jesus.
salty about that.
Okay.
Very salty.
CLG versus Team Liquid. I'm going Team
We'll go
Liquid
Team
again.
Liquid.
I'll go Liquid as well.
I know
CLG
Kevin.
sucks,
Team Liquid. I
man.
got you.
So bad.
I would never vote for CLG these days.
Yeah, I know.
Liquid. Well, that's not true. They maybe against Dig, it's close.
Maybe at the beginning of the split when they were actually like 4-0. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
coin.
we all knew that was good. It was a very rough 4-0.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right, Alistair. What's the coin say for CLG Team
For
Liquid?
CLG Team Liquid, we got, what was that, Liquid on heads? Oh, sorry, CLG on heads.
CLG on heads.
Alright, we got CLG. I guess the
I
coin's going
can't
for the
wait.
upsets. I don't know.
Alright.
It's a big brain right here. All right, Dignitas versus Immortals. Ew. Literally the two teams that
At
are
the
like
bottom.
at the bottom. Yeah.
Immortals. Especially if they feel Viper, but I'm not gonna use a conditional. I'm just saying Immortals.
Look at my face right now. I'm like disgusted because I don't.
Yeah. Like, are they gonna start Viper again? They can't, right? They can't
There's
be
no
that.
way.
They can't.
Viper.
Oh, I mean, but they might.
They
Yeah,
easily
man.
could. I mean, I'm gonna go Dig, but
Oh.
Okay.
I
Well,
want to go.
that's not surprising. You have been consistent with your dig
I am.
picks.
Dignitas smashed
it's
them
just
more.
Johnson. I want to see Johnson do well, man.
Yeah, I do.
I want to see him on a better team.
I'm gonna go Dignitas as well. I just feel like they're gonna put in Lorlo and actually just smash Immortals for some reason.
Well, I mean, we saw what happened last time they played.
Yeah, exactly. They just got absolutely destroyed.
I'm gonna go dig,
Dardoch
but I'm
just
really
murked them.
hoping they don't put Dardoch on like Karthus again or
Karthus,
something like
yeah.
that.
Put
Yeah.
him on
Just put him on
Graves
Graves.
or-
Every
Yeah,
game, dude.
put him on Graves. Oh man,
Interesting.
I think it was last. He had the Graves game right where he like popped off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was the first to do Ignite Graves in NA.
Yeah. So okay,
Yeah,
Kevin, who'd you pick?
Dardoch's been on the up and up. I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Coin is
Karthus
Immortals.
sucks. Yeah.
Coin is Immortals. What about you, Kevin?
I said Immortals.
Oh,
Yeah.
Immortals. Okay.
It's not my. I still have faith in Xmithy, and if he loses, I still win because he.
That's
comes to
the
Liquid.
only reason I kind of like would give any thought to Immortals.
I think
Smithy
the
and
other-
Insanity are they're the bright spots. I'm not.
they're
I
still
mean,
playing
Alorum,
fine.
yeah, but
I'd like to say that, but they have had a hard schedule, so
they have.
I like
like to see.
Insanity's play style. I like
Yeah.
that he doesn't int the early game and
No,
he always
he's
plays
good.
late game.
I mean, I think he's good.
I want to see more. I
Definitely
want to see
better
more
than Ito.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
wanna
like
see more
Insanity. He should start over some of these mids, like Phoenix. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
God. Yeah.
God.
yeah.
Okay. Sunday we got CLG Golden Guardians first. I'm going GG.
Golden Guardians.
I'm
Golden
done with
Guardians,
Notorious
100%.
POG at least for now.
Really?
I said POG, POB.
No pog.
No Pog. Notorious
No
Pog.
That's actually what LCK calls their player of the game, so that's pretty funny.
Nah, that is funny.
Yeah, pog.
Coin is CLG.
Coin is
Oh, sorry.
CLG. Yeah, I'd like to say CLG, but honestly, like
GG.
I don't know,
GG.
Ruin is pretty bad. So
Ruin
GG.
is so bad. Ruin
Did you
is
say
up there
GG,
with the
Mitchell?
worst. Yeah, I
I
said
said
GG.
Alistair,
we all
I
said
think,
GG?
I think we're all good.
Okay,
I
we're all
think
going
we're all
well.
Golden Guardians.
All right.
That's so weird.
Except for
Um,
Coin.
except
GG
the
is like
coin.
the epitome of like a middle of the pack team.
Yeah. Okay.
That's true.
Next
Yeah.
is FlyQuest versus EG.
Going FlyQuest.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go FlyQuest too.
I'm
EG.
going.
I
EG
will as
again.
well. I don't know. There's just, I don't know. There's a lot.
Kevin, did you say EG?
Yep.
Dang, you got EG going 2-0 this week.
Yeah.
All right, and then Mitchell, you said FlyQuest.
Yep.
Alistair,
I doubted
FlyQuest?
them last time when I was like, I thought EG was gonna be FlyQuest, and then FlyQuest just destroyed them.
Yeah,
That Jizuke's Kog'Maw.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This one's, I have no idea, but you know what? I'll side with Kevin. I'll go Evil Geniuses.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
what
mean,
did the coin say
if
anything
it-
yet?
Here I got it. Who was heads? FlyQuest?
Yeah, FlyQuest.
All right, coins FlyQuest.
Woo,
All
good
right, I'm on the
point.
side of the
Okay.
coin, baby.
Yeah, but the coin also said that
That's
what was
true.
it? CLG would beat Team Liquid.
That's all right.
So-
Yeah,
It's fine.
let's go
Okay.
coin.
Immortals versus Immortals versus 100 Thieves. I'm going 100 Thieves.
I'm going 100 Thieves as well.
Okay.
Although
It's
it
another
is-
just.
It's another Garbo.
This is another
game now.
Garbo game. Another game I'm going to just watch the highlights.
Honestly, it gets like
low lights,
Like-
highlights, same thing.
yeah.
Talking about 100 Thieves a little bit.
Yeah.
Poom is really falling off for me. Poom he was looking really good when he first started, like way better than Stunt. But now he's kind of looking like Stunt. He's just kind of getting caught out randomly.
Does he get
And
a
a lot
little
of
more
the-
grace though because he's only been playing for 2 years?
Yeah, true.
I mean,
I just had higher hopes. Like
Sure.
he looked way better
Of
at the
course.
beginning than he does now.
Yeah.
Mm,
I'll go
Yeah,
Immortals.
he still had to look
Immortals,
good
okay.
at some point. I'll go 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves. All right. And the coin, Immortals is
Coin.
heads.
Immortals heads. We got 100 Thieves.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, there's the predictions. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes these games are kind of on the snooze fest because you don't know it's just not really going to be exciting to watch. But I think there's enough good matches here that I'm pretty excited to see.
Get some C9's. It's worth watching for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
hype.
I mean, last week, I think really the only game I was excited for was the Team Liquid C9 one. I didn't think there were a lot
I
of.
feel like people aren't giving Golden Guardians enough credit. I feel like they're a bit of a sleeper team.
They are.
Because I mean,
they
if you
are.
look at it,
They are.
they have the same win rate or they have the same score as
EG.
Evil
EG,
Geniuses, and
yeah.
they're just one win behind FlyQuest.
A good point.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Evil Geniuses nuked their roster for Golden Glue Hootie. So if,
I mean, that's
if there's
true,
still-
but
if there's still Jizuke in there, I would be more surprised because I feel
Yeah.
like Jizuke is just way better.
I wonder
But-
I don't know.
if that's
I
got to
feel like
be
they're a sleeper,
attitude
though.
issues or something.
I think
'Cause
so.
I
think it's
don't
motivation.
think you can say that Golden Glue is better mid laner than Jizuke. It has to be something with the attitude or for whatever
Attitude,
reason.
synergy, something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Maybe
'cause
since Karen's just like, I don't like getting my resources pulled all into there because he wants to carry too. I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
weird.
They got second place last split doing the Jizuke
Yeah,
show.
Jizuke
I
show.
don't know why
Well,
you
they
just-
get second place regular.
yeah.
Yeah.
mean,
I
they
wonder.
got quite-
Yeah, I
Third
don't
place
know.
overall.
I still want Golden Glue to succeed, but I still have mixed feelings about it. If they ban out Zoe, I think he's gonna be hurting. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Um,
got a good champion besides
Well,
Zoe.
they
Yeah.
also have to ban out GP because Huni hasn't lost on GP.
That's
right?
true. But that's again the
Duo?
same thing. They
Trio?
just need to ban out GP and Zoe, and I think the teams.
They just
Gotta
need to
get
not
on
play like if they play a tank into Huni, he'll play GP. But if they play
Yeah.
like a carry, he'll just like play Camille and inch his brains out.
Yeah, that's
That's
exactly
easy.
right. It's exactly
Huni is
right.
so easy to predict. It's
Yeah,
like
unfortunately,
Yeah, we'll
that's the
see.
case.
I'm trying to give EG a little bit more credit, but we'll
Okay.
if
After
they don't
this
do well,
weekend?
then I clearly will pivot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
the beating C9 means something, regardless of.
Oh, absolutely.
that was 2 weekends ago. This last weekend, Huni inted his brains off on Camille. So
Sure, but so did C9 into their brains off against Blitzcrank. What's your point?
I mean, but it's against Team Liquid versus this time it was against Golden Guardians, right? So it's like a much worse team.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I mean,
Or Dignitas. It was against Dignitas. They entered their brains out.
Yeah.
okay, that's fair.
Yikes.
Okay. So last thing before we wrap it up is next patch is coming out right for competitive, which means new champion. What do y'all think of Lilia?
She's very mediocre.
She's annoying. She's going when her numbers are there, and I don't know if they're there yet because I haven't played her myself. She's going to be a huge pain in the ass because that AOE global sleep, or not
Yeah.
global, but just basically if you've been marked by her passive, you can be slept, is insane. it's actually so painfully annoying because you just feel so hopeless. You're like,
Yeah.
it's like the Zoe E, except it can't miss.
Yeah.
And it hits everyone once she's applied it.
I
So
think
she's
she's gonna
cancer.
get the Volibear treatment, where she's like pretty mediocre on release, and then she's gonna get giga buffed.
Yeah,
I think that's what
what's
happens.
happening, too. I mean, not
Yeah.
next patch.
Not next patch, but I think after Worlds,
She's
gonna
gonna
get
be that
crazy
weird patch
buffs.
where it's not at Worlds, so like no one
Yeah.
at Worlds will be showing it off, but we'll be playing it. It'll be terrorizing.
So do you
us.
guys think, and kind of leading into my next question then is, do you think one, we'll see her next week, and
Yes.
two, do you think we'll see any, with any of the changes? Like I know we talked about Eve a lot. Like, does Evelyn Jungle come back, or like do you have any predictions of what we might see? So let me get your thoughts. So Mitchell, you said you don't think we'll see Lilia.
Let me take a look at the patch
No,
notes.
it's North America. We
Okay.
never bring out the new champion.
I mean, it took us how long to bring out Wukong?
Yeah, and it took us quite a while to bring out.
I think we'll be playing Lily. I think there's some tech there that she's like one of those characters that's really bad at our level, but she might be insane at a high level because of her
Yeah.
kiting
She's
ability.
super weak right now, and I doubt anybody's playing her.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
She's
What
very
about
weak right
what about any other champs or change? With the changes,
Caitlyn.
do you think they will see anything? You think
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn will come out?
Caitlyn.
Really? Okay.
We're gonna see Caitlyn Bard.
If Ash is still in the game, no. But if Ash gets banned, definitely Caitlyn.
Caitlyn.
Well,
Okay.
Ash got a 20% tech speed nerf on her Q. Well, not this week, but yeah.
Not
I mean,
the
that's just
Yeah.
reverting the last buff. I don't know why they're doing it, but I guess.
Yeah. That Ash change hasn't come out, but the Caitlyn change is already in.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
Caitlyn, we're
Her
gonna
win
see more
rate
Shen.
went
We're
up
gonna
like
see more Skarner.
2% or something crazy.
I'm pretty
Oh,
confident
wow.
about those as well.
You said
What-
Shen, right?
Shen and Skarner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think Shen. We're gonna see. We're already
Think
seeing Shen.
Smithy's gonna
before
bring out the
buffs.
Skarner, baby.
You might see
yeah.
Evelyn in other regions, but I don't know if there's a single Evelyn main in NA. who
Well, the
plays
Evelyn buffs
pro.
aren't out yet, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
that's
Yeah.
You're right.
Sorry,
But the
it's not
Shen
yet.
we will see. Shen should
Yeah,
be
Shen
very
should be
meta.
Actually, we'll
Okay.
probably see
Shen
more
is
Aurelia
good.
as well. And
You think
Not
Rakan.
until the
so?
buffs come out. Not until the buffs come out.
No, they're already out.
No,
They'll be
not
there
in the
next week.
patch coming up.
No,
10-16 buffs are way.
I'm talking about 10.
far
I'm talking about 10-15. The ones that are like this weekend.
Wait, Rakan's
Like,
getting
what are we
another
predicting
buff?
we'll see this weekend?
10-15?
Oh, 10-15, there are really buffs? Really?
Yeah, she got more attack speed, I believe.
I thought that was 10-16.
Yeah, she got like a significant amount of attack speed.
Oh wow.
Oh, she did. You're right.
Yeah, I
Never
think
mind.
I honestly I think we're gonna see all of the champions that got buffed. Well, I mean
Wow.
maybe not
Gragas.
for
Gragas got a big
Ooh,
fat
even
buff.
Gragas.
He got it. Buff. He should be getting played. If Medios was still in the league, he'd be so happy.
Dude, he got like a 3% win rate in solo queue
Wow.
increase.
Yeah, that's
Gragas,
pretty
or 2% or something crazy. So we might see Gragas, and also Predator just got buffed like 2 patches ago. So
Yeah.
we might see Gragas.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So we might see Yasuo too.
Any last thoughts before we wrap it up? Any last things y'all wanted to say? Man, we had some good discussions. I'm glad we got to. We'll title this the Team Liquid C9 show because it was
That's all that
really
mattered.
good. Yeah, that's all that mattered.
I should
anyways.
have won. I'm angry. I'm angry.
Hey man, I feel you. Okay. Any last things? You guys good?
No.
Good to go. All right. Well, thanks again to my awesome co-hosts for just sharing their thoughts, opinions. Really good insight. Appreciate them just contributing to the show. But again, if you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, email us at theallinpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at theallinpodcast. Again, thank you for listening. Share it with all your friends, family. Leave us a 5-star rating, a review. All of that stuff helps. And so we appreciate all the support. But until next time, enjoy your climb on the Rift. Try not to be too toxic, and we'll see you all on the next episode. Peace.